If your cat follows you everywhere, from the kitchen to the bathroom, from the bed to the hallway, from one room to the next, it may be saying something far more emotional than most cat owners realise. A lot of people assume this behaviour means their cat is being needy, clingy, or just hoping for food. And sometimes, yes, food is definitely part of the story. But if your cat seems to appear behind you no matter where you go, especially when it does it consistently, there's often a deeper reason hiding underneath that behaviour. And once you understand what your cat may actually be trying to say, the way you see those tiny footsteps behind you might completely change. Cats are often described as independent, distant, or emotionally mysterious. And compared to dogs, they usually are. But that's exactly why this behaviour matters so much. Cats don't usually stay close to someone without a reason. They are selective, observant, careful with their space and their energy. So when a cat chooses to keep you in sight over and over again, it usually means you're not just part of the environment anymore, you are part of its emotional world. One of the most common reasons cats follow their humans is because they feel bonded to them. In the wild, cats may be independent hunters, but they are not emotionally empty. Domestic cats form attachments, they create routines, they notice who feels safe, who feels familiar, and who makes life feel predictable. And for many cats, the human they trust becomes the centre of that emotional map. So if your cat trails behind you through the house, it may not just be following your movement, it may be following your presence. That's a huge difference. Because for a cat, presence is comfort, familiar sound, familiar steps, familiar energy. Just knowing where you are can make your cat feel more secure, and if your cat has decided that being near you feels calming, then following you is not random behaviour, it's often a quiet sign of attachment. But there's another reason this happens that most people completely misunderstand. Sometimes your cat follows you because it's curious about you in a way that's almost childlike. Cats are constantly studying the people they live with. They watch patterns, they memorise habits, they notice what time you wake up, where you sit, what doors you open, what sounds mean food, and what mood you seem to be in. So when you stand up and walk into another room, your cat may genuinely want to know what's happening. Not because it's bored, but because you are interesting. To your cat, you're a giant, unpredictable creature that somehow controls warmth, safety, food, routines, and attention. That makes you one of the most important things in its world. So yes, sometimes your cat follows you simply because it wants to see what you're doing. And weirdly enough, that's actually a form of love. Then there's the emotional side most owners don't think about. Some cats follow their humans more closely when they feel anxious, uncertain, or extra attached. If your cat only does this at certain times, like after a move, during loud weather, when guests are over, or when your routine changes, it may be using your presence as reassurance. In that moment, your cat isn't just being clingy, it's grounding itself through you. And that's one of the strongest trust signals a cat can give, because cats don't seek comfort from just anyone. If your cat chooses you when it feels unsure, that means somewhere deep in its instincts, your presence has become associated with safety, and that's powerful. But there's something even sweeter hidden in this behaviour. Sometimes your cat follows you not because it needs something, but because it simply wants to be included in your life. That may sound small, but for a cat it's not. Cats often show affection by sharing space, observing quietly, sitting nearby, and staying involved without demanding constant interaction. So if your cat follows you into the room and just sits there while you brush your teeth, fold laundry, work at your desk, or make coffee, that may actually be one of the purest forms of companionship it knows how to offer. It's not saying, entertain me. It may be saying, I like being where you are. And honestly, that might be one of the most underrated signs of love a cat can give. Of course, not every cat follows for the same reason. Some want food, some want stimulation, some are naturally social, some are just incredibly attached. But if your cat follows you often, gently, and without obvious reason, there's a very good chance it's not just about convenience, it's about connection. So the next time you turn around and see your cat standing there in the doorway, watching you, waiting, following you once again like a tiny silent shadow, don't assume it's meaningless, because your cat may not be saying, "Meh, feed me." It may be saying something much deeper. Where you go, I feel safe enough to follow. And sometimes, in the quiet language of cats, that means love.